What is going on, guys? Welcome back to 4-0 Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new build we came up with that I like to call the Grandmaster Samurai. Alright, this is a ridiculous sword build with the new Guillotine sword that came out with Season of Arrivals. It's insane, and when you pair it up with some of the mods I'm going to show you in this build, it's just ridiculous. We put out 250,000 damage every 5 seconds or every rotation. It melts everything. I was trying to use it in the tribute hall, killed everything before I could get a rotation off. Trying to use it on Greg, the boss that everyone tests guns off, killed him before you could get a rotation off. I finally had to go to Riven with Dutch and use him for fucking practice and to get some numbers off without killing the enemy. It literally dies before you can do the full rotation. Literally everything. So it's insane. Let's get right into it. If this helps you guys out, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to drop a like. We're dropping all kinds of Destiny content, so we encourage you guys to become a part of the community, become a part of the wagon, and we hope to see you guys around. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's get right into it and let's take a look at the build. I'm on a Warlock, but this is going to work on any character, Titan or Hunter, it doesn't matter. The Fallen Guillotine. This is the sword, baby. Brand new to the game in this season, and it is insane. I'm lucky enough that actually this morning I got the God roll, the best of the best, Whirlwind with Relentless Strikes, and then Swordmaster Guard. So that's the best because it increases your charge rate, at which case you can get back your heavy attack faster. So all these other guard ones are going to have that slower charge rate. This sacrifices defense for overall charge rate, which I'm always going to take. And then, of course, Jagged Edge, which at the cost of sword ammo is going to give you the most impact bonus. Also, impact on the Masterwork, Complete Beast, and if you put Boss Spec on there, or Major Spec if you're killing champions, whatever you want, this is the role you're looking for, baby. This is insane. Now, disclaimer, I actually just got this morning, and we did all of our testing last night with a different Guillotine that didn't have Relentless Strikes, it didn't have Swordmaster Guard. I believe it had Jagged Edge and Impact, but I've already deleted it, so I actually don't even remember exactly what it had on it. So this is actually going to put out higher numbers than what is recorded in this video, which is just completely insane because the numbers outright are just ridiculous. 250,000 every 5 seconds. So anyway, this is the sword you're looking for. So as you guys probably know, the Fallen Guillotine has a special heavy ability that spins around really quick and hits all enemies around you. It does insane damage compared to the uppercut on most swords, like the Steel Civil that's really popular right now. So that's the major difference that puts this apart. And the attacks partially bypass elemental shields. So even if you're on something with match game and things like that, you're still going to tear through the enemies. So once you've got the sword locked in, moving on, the other weapons are kind of your choice, your preference. One of the greatest benefits about swords is that they are legendary. So it does allow you to be flexible with your exotic choice and put it in another slot. A lot of people love Witherhoard because you can actually stack this and then go in for sword for even crazier damage. Or sometimes people will use Izanagi's to give them that range when they can't get close enough with a sword. But whatever you choose here is your preference. Now let's take a look at some of the armor and mods that makes this build just ridiculous. First of all, we have Striking Light. This is a brand new mod that just came out, and we actually aren't going to use it for the charged light effect that it says there, but if you read all the way at the bottom, it says gain damage resistance against combatants while sprinting. Now this is active no matter what, just at all times, whether you're charged, whether you're not charged, whether you have a sword out, it doesn't matter. This is one of, I think, the most overlooked perks so far in the game. I haven't heard anyone talking about it, and it is just ridiculous. I'll show some test footage in here. I didn't do the exact numbers. I know Dutch is working on a video right now that's just an ultimate survival build, so you can go check out that to get some more details on it. But basically, it's nutty. It looks like 50%-ish, you can see here in the test footage. So this perk gives you a huge advantage when you're just running around trying to get from enemy to enemy with the sword, or sprinting up towards a champion that may be shooting at you on your way up there. It's going to give you insane damage resistance, and it's going to help you close the gap. That's so important, and it's going to help you get out of pressure situations when you're about to die. Aside from that, we're rocking double sword ammo finders. These are great because it's basically going to ensure that we never run out of ammo, especially when you see the scavenger mods. Moving on to the hands, we have another Season of Arrival brand new Charged with Light mod called Lucent Blade. This perk is game changing for your sword DPS. As you can see, while you're charged with light, dealing damage with the sword gives you bonus sword damage for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, as I said before, is about how long it takes for a full rotation to get all your light attacks off and then finish with the heavy. Now you guys may be asking, how good is Lucent Blade actually? How much damage are you getting? Well, in my testing, Whirlwind stacks up 6% per stack, totaling 30%, and then this stacks exponentially on top of it. I was seeing an additional 35 to 40% depending on how many Whirlwind stacks I had on top of the Whirlwind damage. That means when you combine Lucent Blade with a Whirlwind stack of 5, you're getting around 70% total damage increase. And this allows you to just delete everything in your path as you slice and dice your way through the game. Alright, now you guys might be thinking, 70% damage, not going to get any better than that, but that's where you're wrong. Lucent Blade, if you look at the bottom, also greatly increases the charge rate for your equipped sword. That means that you're going to get your heavy attack back faster and more often. Now the heavy attack alone does almost 100,000 damage by itself. So the more often you can get that, the more damage you're going to pump out. This perk is ridiculous, and at only 4 energy costs, it is insane and definitely one of the best perks we've ever seen. Moving on to the chest, I chose to run Phoenix Protocol because I do use a well a lot. I think it's a great combo to drop the well on your boss or whatever enemies you're trying to kill, and it just gives you the added damage bonus as well as the survivability. And Phoenix Protocol allows me to keep that up constantly. But aside from that, just for your standard build, the only important note here is that you are going to want to have one Sword Reserves mod on. Now, I actually originally had 2 mods, but in my testing, I found that a second Sword Reserves mod actually does nothing. You can see in this footage that I had one on and it allowed me to pick up 70 ammo, and then I put a second one on and it still only allowed me to pick up 70. So it doesn't say that they don't stack, so I'm not sure if this is a bug, but be sure that you're only using one so you're not wasting a perk slot where you could pick up something like Rifle Reserves to help your Izanagis or other special and primary weapons. Moving on to the boots, we have another very important new mod in the Season of Arrivals called Supercharged. This is going to allow you to gain 2 additional stacks of Charge with Light. Now, we only run 1, so you're not going to have a maximum of 5, you're going to have a maximum of 4. But this is basically going to allow you to chain 4 Lucent Blade buffs back to back to back to back. This is effectively doubling the sustainable damage duration for you and is very important in longer boss damage phases, such as the final Kell boss in the new Prophecy dungeon. This perk also allows you to keep more stacks, meaning that you have more flexibility to use your sword. If you only had 2, you may think twice about pulling your sword out and using damage before a boss phase, because you're going to want to guarantee that you have the max charges up. But if you have 4, you can easily pull out your sword, pop one of your charges off to take down a champion or a big major, and still have 3 charges ready to go for a boss phase, giving you more flexibility to use the sword at will. The other very important mod are the enhanced sword scavenger mods that come on this season's artifact. These mods were also available last season, so many are familiar with them, but be sure to be rocking these. These give insane amounts of ammo, and if you have 2 of these equipped, you're going to get an insane amount of ammo when you pick up a brick. So make sure you have these on to help greatly increase your ammo economy. Moving on to the final armor piece, you may be wondering, we have 3 different mods so far that require charges of light, but how are we getting those charges of light? Well, taking charge. This is my favorite mod for becoming charged with light without a doubt. It is an older mod, so if you don't have it, be sure to check the gunsmith daily because he does have a chance of selling it, and it's definitely worth picking up. Now, I love this mod because I find that in most encounters across the Destiny universe, you're always going to be creating orbs of light. You and your teammates, whether you're using masterworked weapons and getting multi-kills, dropping orbs that way, or popping supers and generating orbs like that, you're constantly seeing orbs around and they're very easy to pick up. I also love this because it really helps ensure that you will always have charges going into a damage phase. If you're going into boss damage and one of your teammates pops a tether, or pops a well, or pops a bubble, all of those are going to generate at least 2 orbs on their initial use. So if you run into a damage phase and someone drops a well, you instantly know that you're going to have 2 charges of light, giving you at least 10 seconds of the Lucent Blade buff if you happen to go into a damage phase with no charges. This allows you to use your sword freely between damage phases and gives the ease of mind of not having to worry about saving charges before going into a DPS phase. Aside from this, another good perk I'd like to mention is Bleeding Edge. Now, I run Phoenix Protocol, so I constantly have my super up and I'm never really itching for super energy. But if you're not running Phoenix Protocol and you're not running Orpheus rigs and you are looking for your super more, be sure to put Bleeding Edge on, as it does grant you additional super energy when you're killing with your sword. So that's pretty much the core build, guys, and that's everything you're going to need if you want to get the most out of your sword. But there is one more thing I wanted to mention that isn't really required and is build specific. But we did get a perk back on the artifact this season known as Oppressive Darkness. A lot of you may remember it in Season of Undying. It's extremely strong and basically gives the damage debuff of a tether to any enemy you hit with your Void Grenade. This is extremely powerful when running it with Void subclasses. I know it's become very popular and is definitely in the meta right now for PvE. A lot of people are using it with Devour. All right, this is extremely strong. And if I wasn't running in a team situation and I was trying to say solo the dungeon, this is definitely a build you're going to want to try out. If you're rocking Devour and you're running around with the sword and you're slicing and dicing away, you got your Nova Bomb to absolutely delete things, you got your sword to delete things, you can throw Oppressive Darkness down to get that damage debuff. It's absolutely insane. And I know a bunch of people have been using this for damage phases as well, giving you the added bonus of the Nova Bomb and the Devour. And if you guys aren't on a Warlock and you're on a Titan or a Hunter, be sure to try out some of their different combinations. The Titan is probably the best of all three when you pair the bubble with the Weapons of Light and then the damage reduction. Obviously, if you just slam that down right on a boss and you pair that with the Oppressive Darkness damage, you're getting an effective 55% on top of your Whirlwind and Lucent Blade. Just ridiculous. And obviously, if you're running with a team, you know, you can mix and match them all and get the most out of whatever. And ideally, you would just want to have as many Oppressive Darknesses as possible so that you can chain them. Now that we've gone through the whole build and you guys know exactly what you need, let's take a look at the juicy parts, the parts everyone's itching to see, the damage. All right, so I started off in the Tribute Hall, as most people would, and found that this really wasn't a viable place to test this weapon. Yeah, you could see the single hit numbers, and yeah, you could like test a couple figures here and there, but basically nothing in the Tribute Hall stays alive long enough to test out a full rotation. Everything was dying instantly. The Ogre had no chance. So I decided to go test that on a Greg, who's a popular Lost Sector boss on Titan. And upon arrival, I was testing it out, and of course, it wasn't enough health. I was literally eliminating him. You could almost get a full rotation off, but once you had all the stacks up and you were adding in debuffs and things like that, going for maximum damage, it just deleted him before you could even get the full thing off. You couldn't get 5 stacks of Whirlwind up and then try and do it. Like, he just got deleted. So I thought, what am I going to do now? Like, this is the boss that everyone tests stuff on. Well, we're going to go into Last Wish. We're going to go to Riven. All right, we know who has a lot of health. We're going to go in there, and we're going to get some real numbers. So I went in there. Thank you, Dutch, for helping me out on this. We spent a few hours in there doing a bunch of runs, trying it with just Whirlwind, trying it with the Charged Light and Whirlwind, trying it with the Charged Light, Whirlwind, and the debuffs. And we finally got the numbers, giving us 600k damage in a little over 10 seconds. If I break down these numbers for you, you'll see that after getting the initial Whirlwind 5-up on the first rotation, I'm able to get off 8 light attacks while my heavy recharges and then execute the heavy in a matter of 5 seconds, totaling to 250,000 damage per rotation. And the major thing about this is that it's sustained. As long as you have charged with light stacks, which if you have the maximum of 4, you have 20 seconds on that, and as long as you have ammo, you can continue to sustain 50,000 DPS. Now you're going to see builds out there that say, yeah, 60k DPS, 70k DPS, something like that, right? But it's only in the craziest of circumstances, and it lasts for maybe a shot, maybe whatever. It's not sustained damage over a 20-second window. That damage falls off heavily after a shot or once you have to reload or whatever it is. So don't be fooled by that. This is without a doubt the craziest damage in the game. It's insane, and as you can see from the clips and things like that, stuff just gets deleted. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the full build, all the damage and everything. I hope this helped you guys out. If you guys have any way you think that this could be better, be sure to let us know in the comments. Let us know if you're using this. Let us know your guys' favorite build and what you're looking for. If it helped you out, drop a like, subscribe for more. We got lots more content like this coming out, more builds, more guides. So we hope to see you guys around on the wagon, as we like to call it. That's what the wagon game out here. Yeah, guys. So thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.